Hi Year 1 and welcome to today's maths lesson. Now all week we have been revising measuring the length. So yesterday we looked at the language, the vocabulary, longer, shorter, the same as or equal length, and today we're actually going to be doing some measuring. So what you might need for this video and this maths activity actually are some objects that you can measure with. So if you have pencils, if you have books, if you have an eraser or rubbers, or anything at home that you might be able to use for measuring. Okay, let's get started. Firstly, we have two children that are trying to measure the length of a paintbrush. Which child do you think has measured correctly and why? So you can pause the video here and have a think about it. And once you're ready, press play, and we'll go through it together. If you said this child has measured correctly, well done. This is the most accurate, so accurate means the most correct way of measuring. So that the child is trying to measure this paintbrush. And can you see how they have lined the paintbrush up right next to the, they've lined the pencil up right next to the paintbrush, and they've made sure that it starts in the same starting place. Just like if you were to do a race on sports day, you all start at the same beginning line, so it's fair, okay? And in order to be able to measure accurately, you need to make sure that you line up your equipment so they are at the same starting place. Whereas if you have a look at the measuring over here, it's very tricky to see how long this paintbrush is when the pencil is going out in this direction, isn't it? It's important that they're lined up right next to each other. So today we're going to be measuring using blocks. So you can see at the top here that we have a loaf of bread. We're not measuring the bread with a ruler using centimetres, we're going to measure with blocks. So I have very carefully lined up the blocks right next to the bread. I've made sure that they're they're lined up so they're at the same starting spot. I've made sure that the blocks don't start halfway down the loaf of bread. They're lined up correctly. Now, how many blocks long is this loaf of bread? You can pause the video while you work this out and then play and we'll go through it together. All right, let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the loaf of bread is 6 blocks long. And you can count them. Okay, now we're going to measure a pencil using blocks. So as you can see, I've made sure I've put the blocks right next to the pencil. I've taken the time to line them up carefully. They're starting at the same starting place. How many blocks long is the pencil? Pause the video and when you're ready, press play and we'll go through it. Okay, let's see. Let's count the blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this pencil is 10 blocks long. Now we're measuring a book. How many blocks long is the pencil? Oh, not the pencil, sorry. The book. Do you like the way I've lined them up? Do you think I've done a good job? Yeah, that's right. They're right next to each other, starting at the same beginning place. So the book is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 blocks long. Okay, I have a crayon now. How many blocks long is the crayon? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The crayon is 8 blocks long. Who thinks I did a good job with my measuring here? Yeah, because I made sure that I lined the blocks right up next to the crayon and I've made sure that they start at the exact same space here. Now we want to see how tall Teddy is. How many blocks tall is Teddy? What's his height in blocks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, would you say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, Teddy is 7 blocks tall. We have one of these in our classroom. How tall? What is the height of this horse using blocks? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is 10 blocks tall. That's the height of the horse. And now we're going to measure the height of the bag. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's line it up, make sure that's accurate. Yeah, I would say 6 blocks tall. So I write the number 6. Well done, Year 1. You've done excellent work with your measuring today. What you can do now is choose different objects around the house. So it could be a chair, table, book, your own height, and see if you've got any blocks or pencils or anything else at home and measure things. So we're using what we call non-standard units. So that's objects that aren't rulers or tape measures to measure the length and the height of things. So have some fun and go and do some measuring.